When I had cancer and I was lying on what I thought was my deathbed, I realized that I knew something. As a result of my life experience, the unusual circumstances of my life that I've lived through, and my meticulous research in graduate school. Today I'm going to share with you as much of that private knowledge that I can in our hour and a half, okay? So it's not a happy story, but the idea is that it gave me joy thinking about the joy I could give to the other kids in writing this book. Okay. And now I say, I'll think about it and get back to you tomorrow, and then I have 24 hours to think about a nice way to say no. I've set my standards way low, and I feel great about myself all the time because I'm always meeting them. Based on my research, I have come to the conclusion that in life there are two fundamental sources of conflict, psychological conflict. One type of conflict is external. It's conflict due to our social world, social rejection. That's the first type of conflict. The second type of conflict is what I call internal conflict, conflict within ourselves, which is self-rejection. Here I had this massive cancer. It was around my heart, collapsed my left lung. I said, no, I think it's gone. I don't feel the tumor energy in my chest anymore. And then 3 weeks later, they did the scan. The cancer completely vanished from my body. So I felt like I need to share my story, which is really a story about self-acceptance. And it's all your knowledge now. And I'm really excited because this, I almost want to call it secret knowledge because no one else seems to know it, which is why it's so much fun having people come to the talks, because you learn something you hadn't heard anywhere else, right? And what I love about it is that it sheds light on why people seem so happy making other people unhappy, right? Like you read in the newspaper, people doing stuff that just seems crazy, right? And you're like, how can these people do this? This is insane. Well, now I feel like I understand, and I'm going to share with you that understanding today. Hey, you have to be the judge. You know, I can't tell you what the truth is. We all have to pick and choose what resonates with our own hearts. So I'm just putting out there my truth. And then you can take it or leave it, okay? It seems to shed light on what the root of depression may be, the root of self-esteem may be, where culture seems to come from, where our identities seem to come from. And astonishingly, and I'm not kidding, it seems to point to the truth of ultimate truth. If the theory is true, and if this theory I'm sharing with you is true, again, it has to resonate with your own heart. It's true if logic is true and science is true, and I think logic and science are true, so then the theory must be true. But again, it's up to you. It can explain why the other people at that organization are doing what they're doing. They were once like me. They were once happy making other people happy, and then they found themselves isolated in this group, and they pressured those people, and then they turned and became monsters. It's incredible that these people who we think are monsters are just like you and me. They're not monsters. They just may have gone through this process. Historically, probably what was happening to the German people when they were forced to... Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. You have no idea. You're giving me chills. That's why I did this research. I mean, it wasn't only my personal experience. It was having read. I read before I went to graduate school, before I was even planning to go to graduate school. I read like the Time Life series all about World War I and World War II. And I came to realize, you know, we got to understand this. We got to understand what happened. And I agree with you. And I'm so happy you said it, because I never felt qualified to say it, but that you say it makes me so happy, because that's what I think too. Thank you. It means the people who have committed the greatest crimes are people who were feeling guilt before they had transformed into someone who could do it guiltlessly.